I am weak for vanilla fragrances. No matter how many I have in my collection, I stay wanting more of them. From cozy, sweet, yummy vanillas to crisp, airy ones, even the ones that introduce us to a little bit of leather and suede, I am here for all of it. And 2023 was the year of the vanilla fragrance. You couldn't turn around 2 times before running into a new vanilla release, and it was not possible, y'all, to pick up all of them. So I really just stuck to really cheap, really affordable vanillas, because what kind of extra shit could they possibly be doing over there, over that expensive side? That was my question, and that is a question we are exploring in this video today. I have 10, count them, 10 niche vanillas that went viral, that people were talking about. They were supposedly magic. I will decide that today in this video. Are these worth the money these fragrance houses are charging? Probably not. But I want to get into these and tell you a little bit about them. There are categories. There are answers to my questions. Maybe they're your questions. If they are, stick around and let's get into it. Change my mind, maybe you just might give me right, give me life. Hi, I'm Jeanique, and welcome to this month's ScentXpedition, a series I have on my channel where every month we have a different question to explore, and there's a video dedicated to exploring the fragrances that meet the brief. This month we're talking about niche vanillas. I will link the playlist above. This month we're talking about niche vanillas because I have that question weighing on my mind. Are these worth the price people are charging for them? Anyway, if you like a perfumey conversation, you like this kind of thing, don't forget to subscribe. Just as an FYI, we're going to have categories in this video because we always have categories in this video. There are 30 categories that I've really just rounded up these fragrances into. We have soft, sensual vanillas, we have crisp, airy ones, we have heavy and dark vanillas, if you can imagine that. And we also have the Don Dada of the bunch, the one fragrance that was the best, in my opinion, that brought together quality and price point together in a way that I think makes some sort of sense. We're going to talk through all of them. There's so many different options here, from gourmand shade to really dark masculine shade. They're all here. If that sounds like kind of thing, subscribe, but also stick around and let's get into it. So let's start off with the everyday vanillas that are super versatile, and I'm going to take you from the most playful of the bunch all the way up to the most serious of the bunch. So the kind of vanillas you'd wear to a fun fair or to go out with friends for brunch, all the way up to the everyday vanillas you're going to wear to high-powered meeting. I'm not even gonna hold you. I absolutely loved A Whiff of a Waffle Cone by Imaginaires authors. Y'all, that fragrance blew me away. And when I went online and saw that it was 105 USD, I was like, take my fucking money, y'all, because this fragrance is so good. No. In terms of notes, what is in here? It's syrup, it's cinnamon, it's whipped cream, it's caramel. It is delicious smelling. What it smells like, oh, also there's ice cream in here. What it smells like is when you walk into an ice cream shop, right? And it is cool smelling. You smell the ice cream, but kind of far away. They are pressing the waffle cone and you are getting that as well. So in the air, you have this sort of warm waffle cone baking smell, this ice creamy smell, the smell of the candies and the syrups that they use to put on top of the ice cream. And it's all sort of lightly swirling around you, as if you're not like burying your face in it, but it's around. It is in the air. You are in an ice cream shop. Could I want more than that? The answer to the question is absolutely not. Absolutely not. This fragrance is so fun. It is so playful. It feels like a day at Coney Island. It feels like a day at the fun fair. It feels like a day at the park having a picnic. I absolutely loved this. Now, the downside is that waffly smell, that little bit of like nuance that you get, does not last for a very long time. It sort of disappears and it becomes a sort of crisp, airy, happy vanilla smell with a little bit of extra nuance, that baked waffle coney toffee-like smell that that graham cracker smell that I absolutely fell in love with in that opening, goes away after about 30 minutes to an hour, and most of what you're getting is sweet, airy vanilla with a touch of something extra that makes it interesting. But it doesn't sustain that waffly smell all the way through, which I wish it did. But on the face of it, would I buy it just for that opening? Yes. Now, in a world of new vanilla releases where every new vanilla is about to change the world, this guy is an oldie but goodie. It is Indult's Tihota. It's like $250, y'all, for a very crisp, airy vanilla that is special. But I don't know if it's $250 special. Let's talk about it. So, first of all, this fragrance on Fragrantica lists vanilla and musk. That is basically all that's in here. It smells way more complicated than that. The first thought that came to mind when I tried this fragrance was robot sweet vanilla. Like there's something steely, as if the vanilla is very crisp and airy, but has still been sliced through. It feels very deliberate. It feels almost stoic, but also candy cotton-esque, because on the one hand, I expect these cotton candy adjacent fragrances that are uber sweet to feel really playful and youthful and fun. This does not. It feels like it belongs on a guy in a suit in a Korean action who is like having a bazooka or some shit. Like he is wearing this deliberately because he is making a statement. You know what I mean? Like he's a killer, but his name is Candy. Like that is the vibe of this fragrance. It feels kind of severe, but it is also cotton candy sweet. It is really interesting in my opinion, and it is doing more than I expected based on the notes and some of the reviews that I had seen. I really enjoyed this. I think it is a really great way to wear sweet vanilla on the everyday basis, to wear it to the office and not feel like you're smelling too young. It feels really put together, like you should be wearing a crisp button down. It is a vibe. So I really liked this, but I don't think it's worth the price tag personally. Maybe that's different for you. And tell me down in the comment section if you disagree with that sentiment. But for a cotton candy adjacent fragrance, which we have so many examples of in 2023, I just could not justify this. Even at half off, it would still be too much, y'all. But I really did enjoy this one. The most serious of this group has to be 100 Silent Ways from Miss Honey. Now, I had done a previous review of the X version in another ScentXpedition video. I will link it if you're interested in seeing how they differ. But I was wanting to spend a bit more time with this fragrance, and I really enjoyed wearing it. It feels very serious, a little sweet, a little fresh. It feels like the kind of thing you'd wear to high-powered meetings. It is an everyday fragrance for a person who wants to be taken seriously, who is very well put together. It is a beautiful one. Now, this fragrance mixes together fruits like peach, some white florals. The white floral that comes through the heaviest for me is jasmine, and some heavier notes in the base like sandalwood and vetiver, making this feel like it has a lot of body. This is a definitely unisex fragrance that I think fits in the same sort of wheelhouse as Baby Cat and Grand Soir, except for the fact that those fragrances smell warm, and this one is a very cool and fresher smelling fragrance, which makes it perfect for every day. Those fragrances feel more playful, even sexy to me. This one feels a lot more restrained, pulled back. It feels more practical. It is a very pretty fragrance. If you like a vanilla that you want it to have a little bit of darkness to it, you don't like it too sweet, you love a unisex fragrance, then this one meets that brief really, really easily. I think it is absolutely worth what Miss Honey is charging given the quality of the fragrance, but I don't know if it is quite my vibe, quite my style, especially at their price point. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't obsessed, so I'll leave that one there. I love a soft and sensual vanilla, and so I'm excited to get into the 3 fragrances that fall into this category. It is about time we got here, y'all. And I have 3 fragrances that I'm going to take you from the first date all the way up to the anniversary, because each of these fragrances I think represent a different vibe you want to give at different stages in the relationship, if that makes sense. I couldn't figure out how else to organize this category, so let's do it that way. The first fragrance that I want to talk about is, first up, we got to talk about Idolo's Lemon Crime. Now, this is the first day fragrance of the bunch. This is the sexy ass fragrance of the bunch. This fragrance is so beautiful. It mixes together white florals with citrus, a little bit of vanilla and cacao, making it feel really like slinky and voluptuous and a little bit sensual. Now, this fragrance is very airy and beautiful. It's a little bit sweet. That floral element comes through really nicely. Now, this smells remarkably like Dolce & Gabbana Devotion, or at least Devotion smells like this one. I don't know. The texture is different though. Dolce & Gabbana Devotion is very buttery to me. It's very creamy smelling. And the opening, that citrus is very candied. It's very, very like just strips sweet. It's just very, very sweet. In this, the citrus in this, although sweet, feels fresher, lighter, a little bit more watery, and the white florals in here feel a lot airier and like it's like a cloud that's hugging you. Really beautiful, very traditional in the kind of fruity floral energy that it is giving. It is a combination that absolutely works. It's the kind of fragrance that would get you a ton of compliments because you smell so fire, smell so feminine, smell so sensual, and I can get why people love this. Now, after you've made it past the first date and we're making it to the proposal, to the wedding planning, to the wedding itself, the fragrance that fits all of that for me that I tested was Blanche Bete from Liquid Imaginaires. Now, here's the thing. I was expecting to be hardcore disappointed by this fragrance because so many people hyped it up and said it was magic, but on the flip side, other people said it was basic, they didn't like it, it was boring, it didn't smell good. I heard some conflicting things, so the people who love this fragrance rode hard for it. I'm on their side. I'm on their side, y'all. This fragrance feels otherworldly to me. It is like nothing I have experienced before. It feels like that fantasy version of yourself that is in all white, sort of like moving through somebody's dreams. That is the vibe of this fragrance. It feels really ethereal and just the optimal version of a femininity that is just like, I don't even pick up my own handbag. I am too delicate. That is the vibe of this. I am too delicate for all of it. That is the vibe of it. It smells like coconut milk to me, which I, in my mind, distinguish because it's a little bit earthier, sometimes a little bit sweeter than we're getting with regular milk. And we get some of that sweetness and that milkiness coming through that is really, really beautiful. But that is balanced off by a whole bunch of white florals that is playing us. They're playing equal positions here. This fragrance feels how the bottle looks. Like that is how this feels on the body. It feels really light and feminine. You think you're not projecting and nobody can get anything from you until you start getting compliments. This feels like the fragrance you're going to wear to plan your wedding when you're wearing like full white for the 3 months leading up to the nuptials. Like this is a fragrance you are going to wear on the wedding day. That is how this fragrance feels. I absolutely fell in love with this one, and I do think it is worth whatever they're charging for it because I've never come across a vanilla fragrance that smelled like this at all. So they can take my money. Not right now though, because I'm trying to be responsible or whatever, but one day, definitely. Want to make a great life choice today? Subscribe to me. It would just make me happy, make you happy, make your YouTube homepage happy. It would work for everybody. Now let's get back to the video. Now that the nuptials are over and you've been together for 10 years and you're planning your anniversary dinner, what is the fragrance you're reaching for? It's Milano Fragranze, Panettone. That is, you see how we did that? We took you through the relationship. I took you through it. Now we're at Panettone. This smells like an orange loaf, right? If you've ever smelled a babka, any kind of loaf, it smells like sweet orange flavored bread baking in the air. It is a very photorealistic, in my mind, smell of bread baking, and it is either for you or it is really, really not. I love the cozy feeling of this. I can't bake bread, so I might as well smell like it. It's a fragrance I would wear out into the world, but I would overspray myself, sit on my couch and watch Lifetime movies or Hallmark movies or back to back both, right? That is what I would do with my day. Marathons of Murder, She Wrote in Panettone. That is what I would spend my day doing, and I would feel good about it. This fragrance is beautiful. It is rich. It is yeasty smelling. It is bready, doughy smelling with sweet orange and vanilla and spices to boot. It does not smell like there are florals in here. It does not smell like there's anything else in here. I think it is worth what they're charging for it. If you are getting 100 mils for 140 USD, not bad, right? However, I told y'all I'm coming with an affordable, a niche fragrance video haul. It's coming, right? And there is a fragrance for less than 100 that smells real similar. It's giving a cinnamon babka versus an orange babka. That is basically what you're getting instead with that fragrance, which I will talk to y'all about. So I know I can get the Panettone vibes for less money. Do I think that negates what this one is giving and why it is worth what they're charging? No. I may still pick this up at some point in the future, but I'm going to enjoy the cheaper version from a different house for now. Now we're getting into the heavy and dark vanillas. This is my favorite category of vanilla. Obviously not, it's the soft sensual ones. Going from least to most chaotic because that made the most sense, because the least chaotic is really restrained smelling, really buttoned up, and the one that is most chaotic is out here just confusing me in a good way, but confusing me nonetheless. We're gonna start off with Scent of Wood, Vanilla and Bourbon, and that is actually what it is. Basically, it smells like a bottle of bourbon, and they took some vanilla and some sugar into the bottle of bourbon. The bourbon is taking over everything. So in order of how the fragrance presents and how like heavy each component is, it is wood first. It's a dark wood, then it is bourbon, and vanilla is third, in that order. Now, can a boozy woody vanilla fragrance smell clean? I don't know, but this one does. It smells like a pinstripe suit. A guy in a pinstripe suit would wear this. Like, it feels like a very tailored kind of fragrance that isn't very chaotic and all over the place, even with all of that booziness. This feels ultra masculine to me. I know they say it's unisex, but masculine, hear me. It is nice though. I think it is great quality. The longevity was great. It must be with all of those really dark notes, right? And I enjoyed testing this one out. Now, as it progresses and it dries down, most of that sweet vanilla and the lemon zest is gone, and all you're getting is boozy wood. By the time we're 2 hours in, I was all the way checked out. I was like, I am done here. This is not for me. But if you're a man who loves a boozy woody fragrance, if you're a woman who loves a boozy woody fragrance with not as much sweetness as I would personally want, then this fragrance is, you know, available. It's on the market, right? It is an expensive one. I will put up the price for, I think it's in the $200 range, but that seems standard for some of these houses, so I will make that information available. I didn't commit it to memory because I know I'm never actually going to buy this shit, but it is nice. If I was ranking the fragrances in this video, this would be number 10, obviously. Full disclosure, but I've never been obsessed with a Penhaligon's fragrance, and I have tried, y'all. They have been featured in many ScentXpedition video, and I have always been just not had disappointed. As well balanced and well done and great quality as they are, they just never really excited me. You know, I was always a little bit bored, and then we got to Babylon, and it was a whole different fucking story because, excuse me. So what is in here? It's a mixture of warm spices like cinnamon and nutmeg with some wood like cedar. We have some aromatics like saffron, we have coriander, we have some vanilla, obviously, all coming together to create kind of like a dirty magic. No, first, we have what smells like a very boozy vanilla over some deep, dark, heavy wood. And mixed in, we have some sugar coated with warm spices, all coming together to create something really like opulent and dark and a little bit dangerous. Now, as a fragrance starts to dry down, it gets dirtier and dirtier smelling on your skin, almost animalic. You don't know where it's going to take you, but you want to be on that ride. Now, I always accuse Penhaligon's for being really cerebral, almost stuffy. You know, the vibe of the fragrance is like English aristocrat going hunting. You're like, it's giving old money, but is it giving exciting? This fragrance is very much giving exciting. You know, speaking of giving old money, it costs like $300 a bottle. Like, they are not playing with us, Penhaligon's. Fragrance feels really improvised, like it is changing as your body chemistry changes. It is a really beautiful expression of a dark, deep sex appeal, really encased in this vanilla kind of coating. It is masterful in a lot of ways. Now, would I come out of pocket for this one? I don't know. I don't think I am built for this fragrance. It feels above me. It feels too cool for me, but it was interesting, exciting even to test it out, to try it out, to see what Penhaligon's would really give when they put their foot in it, and what they gave was really fire. Indulgence to be is strange. It is an odd one. Opening of this fragrance is strange, and it lasts about 30 minutes to maybe an hour. And it feels cool and sticky and sweet, as if everything is being coated on top of, underneath, on the sides with a very sweet, sticky, warm kind of honey. It is everywhere, but you're also getting this other accord in the middle of everything that is really hard to place, and the notes did not help me. It did not tell me anything. So I'm going to try to describe what I was getting in the middle of all that honey and sweetness. It was like I was standing in a hospital hallway where there was commercial cleaning products. But while there is all of that commercial cleaning product smell, there is also the smell of gauze and Vicks Vapor Rub and maybe dirt, but not like hospital dirt. It's like outside dirt, muddy dirt, with animals around, all at the same time, encased in this kind of sweetness. And the two things don't go together. It's as if you've poured or sprayed a whole bunch of sweet, sticky perfume over the top, over something you want to cover up the smell of. Like, that is the vibe it gives in the opening, but it feels like it's on purpose. They're meaning to give that sort of impression. It's confusing, right? Because why? And as it develops, there is more coherence. Like, everything gets dialed back just a little. It's like the sticky sweet honey with amber and powderiness and some animalic. Like, that is what it is giving. And I liked it. Like, I enjoyed the experience. It was an experience, but it wasn't a fragrance to me that smelled good, period. Would I smell good if I wore this? No, I would not. I don't think I would. I don't know if somebody else smelling me might tell me something different, but to me, to myself, I did not smell good. This is a fragrance you buy for how perfumery as an art has been expressed inside of it, and you want to go on that ride occasionally and get a kiki out of it. But on my body, I washed it off before I left the house because I could not. I dared not. It is interesting, but does it smell good? That is the question. If you have tried this fragrance and to you it smells good, period, let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear about it. So we have made it through the everyday vanillas and the date night vanillas, and vanillas for those of you who are far more adventurous than I am, all the way to my favorite vanilla of them all. Andalusian Soul smells almost to me like creme brulee, like you've mixed together not just creamy vanilla, but something really dense and heavy and vanillic, together with some warm spices like nutmeg and cinnamon. They say there's civet, some animalic in here, but you really have to strain to get it. What you're mostly getting is this really heavy, creamy vanilla smell mixed with warm spices. There's some incense in here, which feels like you have torched the sugar on top of the creme brulee and you're breaking into that dessert, and you are getting the fullness of all of this. But this fragrance doesn't smell quite like food. It doesn't. It smells like almost food. It still smells like perfume. It smells perfumey to me, because as adjacent as incense is to fire, it's not quite fire. This fragrance feels big and pretty, a little bit chaotic. It's all over the place, pulling together all of these beautiful, warm, rich, sweet elements together to give something that feels simultaneously really cozy and warm and like home, but also kind of sexy and rugged and slinky and voluptuous. It feels like all of that at the same time, and I absolutely just fell head over heels into this fragrance, wanting to smell like this on date nights out, but also when I'm home sitting alone, like both at the same time. This fragrance gave everything that I needed. Also, this one is boozy. Did I mention it was boozy? It is a rum-filled creme brulee. Y'all, thank you so much for stopping by today and sharing a little bit of time with me. If you enjoyed this video, check out my last ScentXpedition video on rich and sexy fragrances that gave everything that I needed to, and let YouTube know that you want to be recommended more of my videos by subscribing. I would appreciate that. And thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Again, I'm Jeanique, obsessed with these vanilla fragrances, and I'm still shocked that I'm out here discovering new loves every single day, and I'm happy to share those loves with you, just in case you're on the hunt for your own special kind of vanilla. See you in the next one. Bye, y'all. More of what I've been missing. We got time to act distant. You don't know what you're doing to me. Let me know how you feel. Making time for